Hi YouTubers, normally doing videos on my basement, but I've been working on this little John Deere S92. Picked it up off of Craigslist for 25 bucks. Mower wasn't running, didn't know anything about it. Popped it open and there was just a ton of grease and leaves and nuts and you name it. So washed it down, got a new battery for it, got a carb rebuild kit, so put a real simple to do. I've never done a carb rebuild before, so lots of YouTube videos out there. Got new lines, new fuel filter, you can kind of see in there, put in a new spark plug. Took this housing off, and the rats or the chipmunks or something had been living up underneath there. And there's your coil is in there, so as your flywheel goes around, there's electrical coil that creates the spark that goes down, that wire that goes down to your spark plug. So they chewed through 3/4 of that wire, so I had to buy a new coil. That was 40 bucks. I think the battery was 40 bucks. Carb kit was 20. Miscellaneous, another 20. And then I actually went so far as my transmission wasn't shifting. At least wasn't shifting real smooth. So this is the transmission down here. So you have to take off the gas tank and everything to get down here to the transmission. I opened it up, cleaned out the transmission. It's a Peerless 700 series. Again, lots of YouTube videos on this. Cleaned it out, smoothed it out, everything worked great. Put it back in there, it still didn't fix my problem. And what it ended up being, once I got underneath of it, I'll show you over here. So, this spring had broken at some point, and somebody had just kind of looped, or where is it? Here it is. Somebody just kind of looped it in there, so it shortened the spring just by, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 turns. And that would cause the transmission. Sometimes it would work, and then sometimes it just drop out of gear while I was riding. So I think $10 spring. I almost paid more in shipping than I did for the for the spring. It goes underneath there. I'm not going to go into all of that, but put that in, and then suddenly it's shifting like a charm. So got brand new blades. I just took the mower deck off. Again, you can find a video on how to do that for the S92. Took it over to my local lawnmower shop, had them put new blades on, etc., etc. Came home, fired it up. Everything worked great. Riding it until I went to engage the PTO gear. So basically, pushing that forward engages the belt that's underneath there that starts spinning the blades. And it would kill the engine every single time. So if you open up this, I just take these screws out. And again, I'll try not to make this long, but I am, as usual. There's a little rocker switch in here. I've already taken mine out. But the rocker switch, and remember, here it is. It's kind of a hard to find switch because there's 2 sides of it, on, off, or positive, negative, I guess. And then this little rocker here, when this turns, that little wheel runs up on that. And that pushes in on both buttons. You can see there's 2 buttons there. And it switches, essentially what it does is it switches the continuity. So I tested that switch out using an ohm meter and everything I could find. There's not a lot on the S92 out there. And the technical manual is like 100 bucks. So I'm like, I didn't want to spend 100 bucks. But anyway, the switch continuity and everything tested out fine. So finally got around to playing with this today, and basically it's pretty simple to bypass this this PTO. This is a mechanical PTO. not an electrical one. Lots of stuff on electrical PTOs out there, but not a lot on the mechanicals. So what you do is you tie your purples together, and I'm about to pretty this up. That's what made me think of doing the videos. So you tie your purples together. That's part of the safety circuit, and you'll find purple wires at the transmission that I showed you earlier. So you have to be, that's what makes you be in neutral in order to start. If it's not neutral, you turn the key, nothing happens. And of course, the purple wires run to there. I think there are a couple other safety switches. Oh, the seat switch. So there's one underneath your seat. So if you're sitting on your seat, it completes the circuit. When you stand up, the pressure is released and it breaks the wire, and then your engine dies. So I bypass that one. You just tie them together. No big deal. And I'm doing the same here. So purple to purple, tie them together. And then there's a black and white wire. And what I found is those you want to isolate. So I'm going to cut the ends off and wrap them. I just temporarily did this. I don't normally do such a crappy job with black tape. So I'll pretty this up, make sure it's solid. I'll put this back on, and I just tested it. So engine fires up because my purple to purple is together. And then when I throw my yellow knob here, so this goes like this. When I push my yellow knob down, now the belt tightens up. There's a clutch, and again, I'm not going to show you, but there's a clutch underneath here that pushing this knob down pivots that, which tightens the belt that goes to the back of the engine, and now your blades start turning finally. So now we can finally, my $25 mower, which I probably spent $200 on fixing it up now. But still, I'm just happy with the accomplishment. It's a nice little 38-inch jack, and we can get out there and start mowing. Everything mechanically is sound on this thing. It's just running like a top for a 30-year-old mower. I think the model number on this thing dates back to '84, so it was one of the first S92s off the market. I expect to, barring something going wrong with that Briggs & Stratton 11 horsepower engine, keep this thing going maybe for another 30 years. So thanks for watching, guys, and as usual, if you bypass your safety switches, it's all on you. Don't come hunting for me with your lawyer. This is just how I fixed my problem. Obviously, use your own common sense. Cheers.